Imagine an ordinary morning. The alarm goes off, the kettle boils in the kitchen, and an unwashed mug from the night before sits in the sink. Nothing strange, nothing alarming. And yet, these are exactly the kinds of days when people disappear forever. Not during chases, not with screams or sirens, but quietly, between everyday errands, between buying bread and checking documents. The most disturbing disappearances don't begin with a disaster. They begin with a single, almost invisible action. In this case, it was renewing a passport. Just days before he vanished, a man did something people usually do before a trip or an important life change. But he never told anyone why he needed a new document. And then, he was simply gone. This story is based on real cases where the same unsettling detail appears again and again. People renew their passports, organize their paperwork, finish small household tasks, and then disappear. Without a trace, without an explanation. Today, we're examining one of those cases, a mystery that still haunts investigators and family members alike. The man at the center of this story was completely ordinary. Middle-aged, stable life, steady job, social circle, relatives who saw him often. He wasn't a criminal, wasn't under investigation, had no debts, and never spoke about wanting to leave or start over. His life consisted of routine, commuting to work, stopping at the store on the way home, evening phone calls with loved ones, weekends that blended into one another. A week before his disappearance, he scheduled an appointment to renew his passport. To those around him, it seemed odd, but not alarming. The document was nearing expiration, and on paper, everything made sense. He brought the required paperwork, photos, paid the fee. Staff later described him as calm and polite. He joked about bureaucracy, double-checked his information, asked standard questions. Nothing about his behavior suggested that this document would become the final trace of his conscious decisions. While waiting for the new passport, he continued living his normal life. He went to work, did laundry, took out the trash, bought groceries. Neighbors saw him returning home with shopping bags. Colleagues talked with him about plans for the coming month. He didn't say goodbye. He didn't close unfinished business. He didn't act like someone preparing to disappear. And that's what makes this case especially chilling. 2 days before he vanished, he picked up the new passport. Security cameras captured him leaving the building, slipping the document into the inside pocket of his jacket, checking his phone, and walking away. He didn't celebrate. He didn't meet friends. He simply went home. That evening, he cooked dinner, turned on the television, and left the dishes in the sink. His keys were on the table. His wallet was there. His old, invalid passport lay nearby. The next day, he left his apartment again. A neighbor later recalled that he said hello and looked slightly tired, but otherwise normal. He mentioned he was in a hurry. That was the last sentence anyone ever heard him say. When he didn't make contact that evening, his family didn't panic immediately. He was an adult with a busy life. Nothing unusual. But night passed. Morning came. His phone stayed silent. He didn't show up at work. His car remained parked near his home. Inside the apartment, Everything looked as if he had stepped out briefly and planned to return. Police began with the obvious steps: cameras, call logs, bank activity, and that's when a strange detail emerged. After receiving the new passport, it was never used again. No tickets purchased, no hotel check-ins, no border crossings. The document seemed to disappear along with its owner. Investigators began asking the question that still has no answer. Why did he renew his passport? For travel? For escape? For a meeting? Or was he pressured by someone else? Was this part of a plan, or a part of someone else's plan? One theory is voluntary disappearance. A passport is essential for starting a new life, but too many questions remain. Why didn't he take money? Why didn't he sell his belongings? Why didn't he warn anyone? And why was the passport never used? Another theory is foul play. Perhaps someone needed that passport. Identity theft, coercion, blackmail. Maybe he became involved in a situation he couldn't escape. But then, where's the body? Where are the signs of violence? Where is any evidence at all? And then there's the most unsettling possibility. He never intended to disappear. He was simply putting his life in order. Documents, routine, small responsibilities. And his disappearance was the result of a single event. One meeting, one conversation, one wrong place at the wrong time. After the passport renewal, whether planned or accidental, no one knows. Investigators examined everything: friends, co-workers, routes, digital traces. Each time, they hit the same wall. Nothing. His phone shut off without a distress signal. His bank card were never used. His social media went silent. The new passport never entered any system. Months passed, then years. The passport became a symbol of the case. A document meant to open doors became a silent witness to a disappearance. His family still asks the same question. If he hadn't renewed his passport, would this have happened at all? And this is where the story becomes truly frightening. In many similar cases, document renewal is the last confirmed step before someone vanishes, as if the person is preparing not for life, but for an exit, consciously or not. Now I want to hear from you. Why do you think he renewed his passport? Was it a step toward a new life, or the detail that led to his disappearance? Share your theory in the comments. Very often, it's an outside perspective that notices what investigators missed. If you're interested in real criminal cases where one small detail changes everything, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Here, we analyze stories that officially reach dead ends, but still hide answers. Every like and comment helps keep these cases visible, and that means the truth still has a chance. Because sometimes people don't disappear suddenly. Sometimes they disappear step by step, and the final step is just a new passport.